Welcome to Module 1, Chapter 4, where we explore the sharing economy and its growing influence on markets, society, and sustainability. The sharing economy refers to new organizational models that enable people to share, exchange, rent, or lease goods, services, and skills, often through digital platforms. This chapter will show how digital technology has expanded sharing beyond families and friends, allowing strangers to connect and optimize underutilized assets. We'll discuss how the sharing economy supports sustainability by extending product life cycles, reducing resource consumption, and fostering social cohesion. At the same time, we'll examine challenges such as regulatory barriers, fairness, and the risk of reinforcing social inequalities. By the end, you'll understand the core concepts, drivers, and frameworks for implementing sharing economy principles in a way that supports both environmental and social goals. In this chapter, we will introduce the sharing economy and its evolution, examine key concepts and models, discuss changing consumer behaviors focused on access over ownership, analyze sustainability impacts, address challenges and ethical considerations, and explore future directions for sharing and sustainability. We'll start by defining the sharing economy and its relationship to collaborative consumption, then look at how digital platforms have transformed sharing practices. We'll explore the motivations behind participation, the importance of values and trust, and the role of technology and social structures. We'll also analyze the environmental and social impacts of sharing models, including both their benefits and risks. Finally, we'll discuss the challenges of regulation, greenwashing, and social equity, and consider what's needed for the sharing economy to truly support a sustainable and inclusive future. This agenda will guide you through the essential ideas and practical implications, preparing you to understand and apply sharing economy principles in real-world contexts. Introduction to the sharing economy. The sharing economy is an economic model where people and businesses access or share goods and services rather than owning them, using digital platforms for peer-to-peer exchanges. This model has evolved rapidly with the rise of technology, allowing sharing to extend beyond close relationships to include strangers. The sharing economy supports sustainability by optimizing underutilized assets, extending product life cycles, and reducing resource consumption, which aligns with circular economy principles. It also fosters social cohesion by building community trust, increasing affordability, and making resources more accessible. However, integrating sharing models with existing regulations can be challenging, and there is a risk of reproducing social inequalities if not managed carefully. As the sharing economy continues to grow, it is important to balance innovation with fairness and ensure that these new models contribute positively to both society and the environment. Values, technology, and social structures are all crucial for the success of the sharing economy. Shared values, such as trust, cooperation, and a sense of community, encourage people to participate in sharing and collaborative consumption. Digital platforms act as powerful enablers, making it easy for individuals to connect, share, and optimize resources efficiently. However, technology alone is not enough. Social frameworks must promote inclusivity and equitable access, ensuring that everyone can benefit from sharing models. At the same time, balancing innovation with regulation is essential to prevent exploitation and maintain fairness. Without supportive values and social structures, even the best technology cannot create a truly sustainable sharing economy. The interplay between these elements determines whether sharing models will thrive and deliver on their promise of sustainability and social good. Sharing economy enables access to goods and services through digital platforms, making better use of resources. It promotes social sustainability by increasing affordability, strengthening community trust, and supporting cooperation. However, it faces challenges in balancing innovation with regulation and in preventing inequalities or exploitation. Ensuring fair participation and preventing exclusion is crucial for the sharing economy to support sustainable and equitable growth. Key concepts and models in the sharing economy. It's important to distinguish between the sharing economy and collaborative consumption, as they differ in compensation, ownership transfer, and motivations. The sharing economy typically involves non-commercial sharing without monetary exchange, often facilitated by digital platforms and social mechanisms. For example, sharing tools with neighbors or using a non-profit online platform to lend books. Collaborative consumption, on the other hand, involves market-mediated exchanges where users pay for temporary access to goods or services, usually through for-profit platforms like Uber or Airbnb. Here, access is emphasized over ownership, but monetary transactions are central. Recognizing these differences helps avoid misclassification and allows for more meaningful analysis of sustainability and economic behavior. Understanding these distinctions is also essential for designing effective sharing models that truly support circular economy goals and avoid unintended negative impacts. Marketplace exchange is the traditional model of buying and selling, where goods or services are exchanged for money and ownership is transferred. This is different from both the sharing economy and collaborative consumption. In the sharing economy, goods or services are shared without monetary compensation, often through non-profit digital platforms. Collaborative consumption involves monetary exchange for temporary access, but not ownership, usually via for-profit platforms. Digital technologies have expanded the sharing economy, allowing platform providers to facilitate sharing on a much larger scale and changing traditional practices. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for accurate economic analysis and for developing sustainable sharing models that avoid the pitfalls of traditional market exchanges, such as overconsumption and waste. Digital platforms have revolutionized the sharing economy by enabling non-monetary exchanges on a global scale, often through non-profit providers. These technologies make it possible for people to share goods and services with strangers, not just within their immediate social circles. Collaborative consumption, which includes monetary transactions, has also grown thanks to digital platforms that connect users and providers efficiently. Marketplace exchange remains focused on traditional buying and selling with ownership transfer. Recognizing the differences between sharing economy, collaborative consumption, and marketplace exchange is essential for accurate economic analysis and for designing sharing models that are both effective and sustainable. Digital technologies have made sharing more accessible, but they also require careful management to ensure that sharing models deliver real social and environmental benefits. Access over ownership. Changing consumer behaviors. A defining feature of the sharing economy is that it enables consumers to access goods and services without owning them. This shift from ownership to access makes consumption more flexible and reduces the need for everyone to own every asset. People are attracted to sharing models because they offer practical benefits like lower costs, greater convenience, and the ability to use high-quality products without the burden of ownership. Trust between users and providers, as well as a sense of community, are essential for the success of sharing platforms. Positive social interactions and familiarity increase satisfaction and engagement. Many participants are also motivated by the environmental benefits and the enjoyment of sharing, with intrinsic motivations, such as helping others and supporting sustainability, playing a key role. This shift in consumer behavior is central to the growth and success of the sharing economy. Participation in sharing economy models is influenced by a combination of practical, social, and personal factors. Cost savings and utility are often the most important reasons why people choose to engage in sharing or collaborative consumption. If a service is perceived as useful, convenient, and affordable, it is more likely to attract users. However, trust and familiarity between users and providers also play a crucial role. People are more willing to participate when they feel confident in the reliability and safety of the platform and its community. Social belonging, awareness of sharing practices, and the enjoyment of positive social interactions further enhance engagement. Financial motivations are important, but many participants are also drawn by the sustainability benefits and the sense of contributing to a more responsible way of consuming. The degree to which shared alternatives can effectively replace ownership is a key factor shaping participation in the sharing economy. Participation in the sharing economy is often driven by intrinsic values such as enjoyment, social connection, and environmental concern. Core principles of the sharing economy include love, care, generosity, and altruism, reflecting a genuine concern for others and the environment. Unlike traditional market exchanges, participants in sharing models are motivated by the desire to help others and contribute to the community, rather than by financial gain or following trends. Enjoyment also plays a significant role, as people find sharing activities pleasant and fulfilling. These motivations support sustainable and collaborative consumption, making the sharing economy more than just a way to save money. It becomes a way to build stronger communities and promote environmental stewardship. Understanding these intrinsic drivers is essential for designing sharing models that are both appealing and effective. Sustainability impacts of the sharing economy. The sharing economy has the potential to deliver significant environmental benefits by improving resource efficiency and reducing waste. However, its sustainability depends on consumer behavior and the broader economic ripple effects along production chains. For sharing models to truly support sustainability, the goods being shared must be durable, recyclable, or made from recycled materials. Efficient transportation and responsible consumption are also crucial for minimizing environmental impact. Mutualization, where goods are shared among multiple users, and gift-based sharing models currently offer the greatest environmental benefits, as they reduce the demand for new products and encourage reuse. Responsible design and consumer education are needed to ensure that sharing models actually reduce material demand and do not inadvertently encourage overconsumption or short product lifespans. Product quality, durability, and eco-design are essential for maximizing the sustainability benefits of sharing economy models. Durable, high-quality goods reduce resource use and waste by lasting longer and needing fewer replacements, which is especially important when products are shared among many users. Eco-design principles ensure that products are created with long lifespans and minimal environmental impact, helping business-to-consumer sharing models meet their sustainability goals. Efficient transportation and responsible consumption are also key to maximizing environmental benefits, as they help reduce emissions and support sustainable practices. Mutualization and gift-based sharing models, which encourage reuse and redistribution without compensation, are among the most environmentally beneficial approaches. By focusing on quality, durability, and thoughtful design, sharing economy initiatives can truly minimize resource use and foster a culture of sustainability, rather than inadvertently encouraging overconsumption or waste. The sustainability of the sharing economy depends on using durable and recyclable goods, as well as understanding realistic consumer behavior. Without these, environmental benefits may be limited, and the system could inadvertently encourage wasteful practices or short product lifespans. Business-to-consumer sharing models can maximize sustainability by using eco-designed products that are built for longevity and minimal environmental impact. Poorly managed sharing models risk promoting overconsumption and unnecessary resource use, which can undermine their environmental benefits. Mutualization and gift-based sharing models offer the most environmental benefits by encouraging reuse and redistribution without compensation. These approaches help minimize new production and foster a culture of sustainability, making them best practices for sharing economy initiatives that aim to deliver real environmental impact. Challenges and ethical considerations. The collaborative economy supports the circular economy by promoting resource sharing and reducing waste, but it also introduces complex legal and regulatory challenges. One major issue is that it blurs traditional boundaries between consumer and provider, employee and self-employed, and professional and non-professional service delivery. This complicates legal definitions and makes it difficult for existing regulations to address new business models. Users often have less information than platform providers, which can reduce fairness and trust in sharing platforms. Access to sharing platforms often favors certain groups, reinforcing social inequalities and limiting broader benefits. Addressing these challenges requires updated regulations that protect users, ensure fair competition, and promote inclusivity, while still allowing for innovation and growth in the collaborative economy. While the sharing economy offers many benefits, it also presents significant ethical and social challenges. One major issue is the information imbalance between users and platform providers, which can affect fairness and transparency. In some cases, sharing platforms have been found to engage in exploitative practices, such as taking advantage of workers or users who lack bargaining power. Access to sharing platforms often favors specific social groups, typically those who are white, middle class, and middle-aged, while others may be excluded due to lack of resources, digital skills, or social capital. This can reinforce existing social inequalities and limit the broader benefits of the sharing economy. To ensure equitable growth, it is essential to create fair, transparent, and inclusive systems that protect vulnerable users and promote equal access for all. Addressing these issues is crucial for the long-term success and legitimacy of sharing platforms. Highlighting environmental benefits without real action can lead to greenwashing and damage the credibility of sharing economy businesses. To avoid this, companies must ensure that their models deliver genuine sustainability outcomes. Sustainable sharing economy models, such as long-term rentals and carpooling platforms, can reduce waste and lower emissions effectively. Collaborating with producers to design goods that are easy to share, recycle, and transport efficiently is essential for maximizing environmental benefits. Sustainability should be a clear goal, supported by internal groups and regulatory efforts within sharing networks, not just a marketing tool. By focusing on real impact rather than image, sharing economy businesses can build trust, support circular economy goals, and contribute to meaningful environmental and social progress. Future directions for sharing and sustainability. Integrating the sharing economy into circular economy strategies requires a careful balance of economic, social, and environmental considerations. While sharing models can deliver economic benefits by optimizing resource use and reducing costs, they must also address social equity and environmental impact. One challenge is the lack of shared definitions and varied terminology, which complicates efforts to assess and scale sharing economy initiatives. A holistic approach is essential to evaluate the full range of impacts, environmental, social, and economic, of sharing models. Effective design and implementation are key to ensuring that sharing economy models deliver real sustainability benefits. Clear definitions and consensus among stakeholders are crucial for future progress, as they enable better measurement, comparison, and improvement of sharing initiatives across different sectors. The sharing economy is a complex and evolving field, and one of its biggest challenges is the lack of consistent terminology. Multiple terms are used to describe similar concepts, including collaborative economy, peer-to-peer economy, and collective consumption, which can cause confusion among both practitioners and researchers. Different sectors also use their own specific terms, such as car sharing, carpooling, and home sharing, to describe services that may share common principles but differ in implementation. This diversity of language makes it difficult to compare models, assess their impacts, or develop unified strategies for scaling up successful initiatives. A balanced, holistic approach is needed to harness the benefits of the sharing economy while addressing social and environmental issues. Ultimately, the true sustainability impact of sharing models depends on thoughtful design and implementation, as well as clear definitions and consensus among stakeholders. The sharing economy is complex and lacks a unified definition, with varied terms used across different sectors. This diversity complicates assessment and implementation, making it difficult to compare models or measure the true impact. A balanced, holistic approach is essential to harness the benefits of the sharing economy while minimizing resource use and addressing social concerns. Sustainability outcomes depend on how sharing economy models are designed and implemented within circular economy frameworks. By considering environmental, social, and economic factors together, stakeholders can ensure that sharing models contribute to meaningful sustainability and avoid unintended negative consequences. Critical evaluation and continuous improvement are necessary to maximize the positive impact of the sharing economy. The sharing economy has transformative potential, promoting sustainable consumption and fostering strong community engagement worldwide. It offers new ways to use resources more efficiently and responsibly, but also faces significant challenges. Overcoming regulatory barriers and social inequalities is essential for responsible and equitable growth. Embracing innovation and ethical practices ensures the long-term benefits of the sharing economy, supporting both environmental sustainability and social well-being. A holistic and critical approach is needed to assess the true impact of sharing models, considering environmental, social, and economic factors for meaningful sustainability. The lack of shared definitions and consistent terminology complicates efforts to evaluate and scale the sharing economy, making clarity and consensus crucial for future progress. By addressing these challenges, the sharing economy can fulfill its promise as a key driver of sustainability and social inclusion. Thank you for your attention. Next, we continue with Module 2, Chapter 5.